Good afternoon, folks. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you all for being here. I had the privilege of serving in the state legislature for District 30 for 4 years. My last 2 years in 03-04 as the House Majority Whip. And first thing I want to mention, Todd got a plug-in for a raffle. I serve as the chair of the Santa Cruz Valley Friends of the NRA. We have our banquet next Saturday. I've got raffle tickets also. For Kimber Ultra Carry 2 with Crimson Trace laser grip. So if anybody's interested in attending our banquet or is involved in our raffle, we'd appreciate it. I want to start out by suggesting that maybe this past week you've read a little misinformation in the newspapers. That my getting involved in this particular seat and trying to fill the remainder of Senator Payton's term might represent a conflict of interest. I don't think any of the other three members or the folks on this list have been up here today have been asked what they do for a living or whether or not they're going to continue working while they do it. But I am, for the last few months or a couple months, I've been working for Rosemont Copper, putting on some public forums, trying to get accurate information out on what the Rosemont Copper project would do for our community. Most recently, just last week, we had an economic forum here in Tucson attended by 150 people or so from the business community, primarily through the Chambers of Commerce. And we had some economists down from Phoenix that talked about the economic impacts this particular copper project would have, including up to $700 million in economic activity here in southern Arizona. When we're talking about the budget up there, and it's been highlighted quite a lot here today about the problems we're having in Phoenix, problems we're having here at the local level with Pima County and the city of Tucson and the local jurisdictions here. These are the type of things we need. We need to create jobs. We need to create wealth down here. I currently serve as the Government Relations Chair for the Green Valley Cerrito Chamber of Commerce. The town of Cerrito, or the Cerrito Unified School District, is in the process of trying to come back to the voters in just a week or so with an override election. It failed in November. They want to bring it back. They passed a bond election, but they failed in their override election. With the devaluation of the mines down there that has just taken place lately, this override would be a tax increase to the business owners in the town of Cerrito, in the Cerrito Unified School District, on the average business of over $2,300 a year. When has government ever said we can do with less? The answer is always we need a tax increase. When I got in the legislature in 2000, what we experienced the first couple of weeks was the fact that revenues were going to be down from $6.2 billion to $5.8 billion. We had to deal with it then. In 2004, with Governor Napolitano in office, we had a minority of Republicans join the Democrats and pass a budget that was something we could not afford. It happened again in 2006 when a minority of Republicans joined the Democrats and passed a budget we could not afford. Frank mentioned it earlier, how fast state government has grown. We've got to get that under control. We need to send somebody up to Phoenix, and we need, and keep in mind, we're putting together a list of 3 for a Democrat-controlled Pima County Board of Supervisors to select a replacement. They're not, that Board of Supervisors is not going to try to do us any favors in November. I'm pleased with this list of 4. I think we're going to send somebody up there, and the Pima County Board of Supervisors is going to have a difficult time selecting somebody that's going to try to do what they want. We're going to send somebody up there that's going to try to control government spending, which is something that we absolutely have to do. And quite frankly, we need a strong slate to go to the County Board of Supervisors to make sure that we get government spending under control, that we position ourselves for a recovery that is going to be slow in coming, and increasing taxes is not the way to do it. Once again, government's answer has always seemed to be raise taxes and do more spending. And we just can't do it anymore. So I appreciate the nomination. I would be happy and honored to serve the remainder of this term. I do not plan on running for the seat in November, but we're going to stay involved, and I would be happy to serve as your senator for the remainder of this term. Thank you.